All right, we're on. Cool.
Hey, happy. I was going to say Friday, but it's only Thursday.
Not yet.
Good God, this week is. Are you having a long week?
It is a long week.
This is my friend Gevey. She is amazing. She is a mother. She's a Kiwanian. She is works with AZ Youth Partnerships and Cinderella.
Yes.
Like, holy goodness. When do you have time for yourself?
Sometimes at night when I sleep.
Just when I'm sleeping. That's it. Oh my gosh. So let's talk about the Cinderella pageants. I think that sometimes people maybe have different thoughts about the programs. So let's kind of start with how you started, what got you into it, and tell us all the fun facts about it.
Well, we started in 2012. My daughter competed locally and won the overall baby title. And then,
Aww.
She was so little. And so that was like 12 years ago because she was
Wow.
almost 13. And just seeing the different dynamic of the program, because the girls, when they're young, they don't wear those flippers. They don't wear the cupcake dresses and the big hair. It's natural.
Just little babies.
Just little babies. They're babies in dresses, and all my dresses have been hand-me-downs, Kmart, Target, and thrift stores for her. And it's all about their natural beauty and what they can offer naturally. And then when they get older into the teen and woman, then they wear the makeup and the bigger gowns. But
And the fanciness comes.
and then it gets really expensive.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So how often do you do things here? Are they always out of town? How do you get involved in it?
Locally here, we have a program running again. It's been a few years. It started with Denise Schwartzman, who ran a great program here. But we're bringing it back. We have a preliminary pageant once a year in town. And then we have workshops leading up to that where they register, and then I'll work with the girls with what they're going to do the day of. They build their interview, their talents, and their public speaking skills, so they're not just thrown out there the day of the pageant. And then
That's scary.
once you've competed, you're part of our delegation, and we work to go to state finals, which is in the Phoenix area, and then the next level after that is internationals. So you build up to the bigger levels. But locally, we do the one pageant, and then my girls, I make sure they do a lot of community service, so I want them back in the community doing things.
Of course. Well, leading by example. So it's no surprise to me that you wouldn't get them out there to. How many girls do you have involved in the program?
I just had my first pageant last year, so there's a few girls active. I have 2 babies in the baby division, a baby and a tiny tot, and then I have a tot, a mini miss, and a miss, so 3 big girls.
Oh, very cool. Let's talk a little bit about the scholarships and really kind of what the girls take away from it as far as skills. I'm sure, team player, those
Yes.
kinds of things.
So once you get to the state and international level, you start winning the scholarship money. So it costs a little bit more to go, but they earn money when they go to college. They can cash in on that for what they won for their titles.
Oh, that's good.
Locally, you don't win the scholarship money quite yet, but we work on the foundation of building these skills. So when they're under 6 years old, they're in the baby division, or I'm sorry, when they're under 3 years old, they're in the baby division, and their interviews are playtime. So we build the foundational skills of playing with others well and sharing and
Aw.
doing that. And then when they're 3 years old, they start doing, they do a playtime as well, but then they do an onstage interview with an MC. Like, they would sit like this, and the MC will ask them questions, and it's how well they can articulate.
Oh, I bet they're so cute.
It's the things that they say is hilarious. And then the older girls will interview with a panel of judges. So once they turn 7, they interview with a panel of judges. So they're asked questions and they're taught how to answer them. And then they also have to have a small little speech prepared. So they go out and they model.
Really?
Yes, they go
Wow.
on stage. They go on stage, and it's all about how they carry themselves. We teach them to be proud and carry yourself, and how to walk as a young lady, and just a short little how you are, your name, how old you are, and where you're from. And then the teens will throw in their ambitions and what they're involved with, and the same thing with women. And then they also have to have a minute or no longer than 2.5 minute talent. So they don't want that swim there. They want to see the girls have a talent. So whatever they do best. We've had knock knock jokes. We've had speed painting, dancing, whatever they're good at. Show us what you're good at.
Wow. So it doesn't have to be like baton twirling or
No,
you know.
no, it's whatever you're good at. I don't know if you've heard of Darcy Lynn. She's a ventriloquist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She was a Cinderella girl.
Oh, get out.
Yep, winner. So there's a lot of Demi Lovato was a Cinderella girl.
Just different,
Yeah.
whatever. Very cool.
Yeah.
So do you foresee you and your lovely daughter really kind of sticking with this through the teenage age groups?
Yes, because this is one of the longest commitments that she's had since she was a baby. She's competed every year. When there was no program here, we've traveled to Havasu to compete, and she just absolutely loves it, and the friendships that she's made throughout the state and the confidence that she's gained and the skills that she's gained is amazing.
Ah, very cool. So if somebody was interested in getting their baby, or even is it too late if you kind of are in that teenage age group? Like what point is it a good time to start and what point is it maybe too late?
Well, Cinderella will do 0 to 29. So if you're 30, it's too late. But
Gotcha.
anytime before that, it's never too late to come out because, like I said, we work with you. So if you register for the pageant upcoming, I list workshop dates and I'll do one every week leading up to it, and come take advantage of it. You'll hear the music and we practice the walk that you'll have on stage. We practice interviewing. We work with the clothing. So you're given everything that you need.
Very cool. Very cool. If somebody wanted to get involved, how would they do that?
You can contact me. We have an email and a Facebook page that you can follow. The email name is a little bit long, but that's our Facebook page, and that's a good way to stay updated with what's going on, and everything's posted on there.
What does the NWMC stand for?
Northwest Mojave County.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So anywhere basically in Mojave County, you can come to me.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Anything else that you think the community should really know about the Cinderella program that maybe they're a little jaded on? Sometimes I think people get their own little ideas about, things, and
They hear the word pageant and they get really scared and they think it's all that glitz and glam, but it is very, very natural, and the girls are absolutely down to earth. It's really about the friendships. I knew the defining moment when I had to make sure this program survived was my daughter's first year at state a couple years ago. Her talent got messed up, but she still went out there and did it, and she came off stage crying and so upset because it was wrong. The state directors came out and they said, we are a youth development program. If you would like to, you can go out and do it to the best of your ability. They let the judges know that it was their fault, that this is her talent to the best of her ability. And before I could even get to her, she was surrounded by so many parents and so many girls that she was competing against that they ran back inside, and you could hear them cheering for her when she did her talent. And she's actually become the young lady that won her age division that year, has become one of her close friends now.
wow, that's good. That's really good. I mean, you always want to be in groups that are women empowering women, so it sounds like that's where you're at.
That's what I'm all for, and I love it. I'm very strong on we need to build our future, and we really need to build up our young girls to be strong women
Yeah.
in this world, and we need to give them every tool and every asset that we can to help them.
Agreed. Well, that kind of takes you really into what you do for your job. I mean, you're a part of the AZ Youth Partnership Program. Can you tell us a little bit about that and really what you guys do? This is a whole nother avenue. When I learned this about you, I was like, what? Like, I want to be part of it. It's so cool.
I love it. So Arizona Youth Partnership, it was started in 1990 as just a small group of parents in Pima County wanting to make a change. And we focus on the rural areas, which technically we are still a rural area. But we focus on bringing all these programs that bigger cities may get down here because we need the same things. These children need the same advantages as someone in a metropolitan area.
Well, and you guys go all the way to Peach Springs, right? Or even further?
So Arizona Youth Partnership is everywhere. If somebody calls us with a need, we are going to fill it. But so my area is Mojave County. I focus primarily Bullhead, Laughlin. But yes, we do services in Peach Springs. My grant, I am solely just substance use prevention, but we have transitional living programs. We have starting out right programs. We have the homeless youth shelters in Mojave County. Um, oh my goodness, I'm just trying to think because there's so many different. There's so many different things.
Well, let's kind of focus on what you do. When I really learned about what you do, it was really about when the nose sprays to help kids who have OD'd.
Yeah, so naloxone, also the brand name is Narcan. It's available and free. I give that free to anybody that wants to with a quick little training, but it's just like using a Flonase if somebody is overdosing from an opioid, and it doesn't even have to be a habitual user. If you have surgery and they give you Percocet and they send you home, like I tell my story, I had my daughter emergency C-section and we were hospitalized a little bit longer, had issues. They sent me home with a bottle of Percocet, a newborn with health issues, and I cared for my grandpa with Alzheimer's, and he was a high fall risk. So they just were like, good luck. Have fun. And they sent me home with that. And I don't take medicines like that. So in the hospital, they were giving me 2 Percocets every 4 hours, and then they sent me home with it. So if I had taken too much, I could have overdosed, and I'm not someone who takes the medicine.
Yeah.
So naloxone would take care of that.
So the nice thing about the program is you were able to go into the schools and really talk to the high schoolers about how fast people OD, what to do when it happens, kind of instead of, I think us as parents or, you kind of like to avoid those conversations, assume that our kids are not doing that or wouldn't be in those situations. But the truth of the matter is anywhere, anytime, our kids could be in situations where they really have to make quick decisions. So I thought that was super cool about you really going in there and educating them on, maybe having this product and being able to use it if the in-case situation happened.
Yes, and that's my favorite part. And the schools have been really accepting of it, even down to the elementary level. The superintendent has been really welcoming in the elementary level up to 8th grade. I've done staff trainings with it. They are more than happy to have it on their campuses because you never know. And then I also partner my naloxone with the Good Samaritan Law that I love to tell kids about. The Good Samaritan Law, basically, if you are somewhere where you're not supposed to be, and somebody's overdosing, call 911 to save their life. Like Isaiah is our go-to example because they were scared to call 911 in that situation. None of them would have been arrested, even if they had taken a drug or, were high and drunk themselves. They're not going to go to jail. We can't help you with your parents, but you're not going to jail. The police are more concerned with saving a life.
Yeah, just getting that education out to them is important. What else do you guys do with your program? And is there funding help that you need? Is there things that you do to raise money?
We are grant funded. I'm funded through Access with a substance use block grant. So it does cover some stuff, but we are always open to donations because they don't cover food and anything like that. So when I go to classes, any of the candies or extras that I bring, I buy out of pocket for them because let's face it, kids don't want to talk to you about stuff.
You gotta have candy
you have
to get there.
You have to have like little incentives for them. So like I teach the Hackberry School District, the 3rd through 5th graders, and yesterday was a perfect example. They were having a rough day, so we're teaching, and the kids that were on task would get a little piece of candy on their desk. So it encourages them to start all sitting down and getting on task. So yes, we live off of donations and grants, and if there's ever any funding opportunities or you feel like giving, we have a 501c3 number and we would love to.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what your Friday events are. So not only are you educating the community about drugs and overdosing and kind of how and what to deal with that, but you also support the homeless children in the area as well.
Yes. So I partner. Part of my job is spreading awareness to the community, but also supporting. Well, everyone in our community is someone that we want to reach, but I work with the McKinney-Vento families through the liaisons in the school district, and this weekend is their Christmas party. So I'm super excited, and also the Christmas party for the foster kids.
So those are two separate. So you have the foster kid event that you'll be doing a Christmas party for, and then the other event is really for homeless children in town. And it's
Yes.
hard because I think when you go to Las Vegas or you go to bigger places and you see homeless people living on the side of the road, you really know that that's a problem. Here, I think we ironically assume that it isn't a problem, or kids in school don't realize that they may be sitting next to someone who doesn't have a home. So that's pretty cool to me that that's also an aspect that you guys really hone in on and make them feel important.
I mean, we really couldn't, the praise really goes to the liaisons who put in so much work, identifying these families and making sure that they're getting to the resources like us that they need. And something like this is just added because a lot of them may not see a Christmas. And this year, our liaison for the elementary school district has worked so hard at bringing it back to the Christmas spirit. So we're focusing hard on, 'twas the night before.
Yeah. Aww. Well, thank you so much for coming to the show today. Been really excited to kind of get, both of those things out. I assume with the Cinderella pageant, you also love volunteers and donations as well.
Yes. For Cinderella, we're not a 501c3, but yes, we do live off of donations as well, or any help that we can get. As of this year, so when I started, there was no funds with it. So this year, I've had a great set of parents that are helping build it, but everything that we don't bring any money in comes out of my pocket, again, for the girls to make sure it happens. So this last year, I've put quite a bit into it, but I love seeing their faces and how happy they get, and just it makes me happy to make them happy.
Yes. Well, thank you for coming today. You want to talk a little bit about your Kiwanis as well? I mean, that's a never-ending situation, too.
Or this.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So
Good job, Jeff.
Our upcoming pageant for this year. So to our outgoing royalty, so we are going to start a whole new year. March 3rd, we will be having our pageant at Fox Creek Junior High. I'll be releasing the workshop dates here as soon as I get a new location, or
Yeah.
unfortunately
The dance studio ran into.
Yeah,
so.
DB&G donates the studio space for us to practice all of our skills, and they're having a little issue with their building now with it being ran into. But yep, upcoming pageant, you can start registering now. I'll be releasing some dates for some early bird specials, so save yourself some money off the registration.
All right. Well, if you have any questions or concerns, just reach out to Gevey. You can also, we have the little tag there. I don't even know how you use
QR code. You
QR
just scan
code.
it.
Yeah, if you just scan it and find out information. But again, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for being so active in the community. I always love my fellow active people in the community.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for being a Kiwanian too with us.
Oh, you're so welcome. Hey guys, shop local, support local, and have a great day.